Okay, when everybody is back, we should take a picture. Okay.
Oh, get my good side then.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not. Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, Michelle, let's wait for everybody to turn back their camera.
I was joking about his best angle.
Yeah. The least
Which
bad
side of the
angle is, I
face,
think,
you
what she
know?
meant.
Let me widen my screen, see if we can get everybody.
Yeah, if you can turn on your camera, please do so. Michelle and I will take a screenshot. Okay, for all of us. Right, Gary, you can, and Davia, Cecilia. Cecilia is just note taker.
Yeah.
I like
It's
that.
appropriate to have one picture that's that.
Yeah, and then I don't know how to get it two people. I mean, like, I have two screens. It's split into two, so we need to take two pictures. Okay, let me do this first. Smile, everybody. Okay, let me do one more, and then I'll do the other one, the second page. Frank, can you show your face or not? Maybe not. Okay, all right. I'm done with the pictures. Thank you. All right, and then I'll go back. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the ISSIP thing, the background, it's good, right? It's not flipped, right?
Good. Good.
It's good, right? Because I used the mirror image.
Good.
Good. All right. So let's get started. Welcome to the 2024 ISSIP Ambassador annual meeting. We had one last night with some folks in a different jail, and today this is our second meeting. Really great to see all of you joining. Let me, okay, hold on a second. Let me do this. Yeah, let me move to the agenda. I need to do this first. Yeah, so here's the agenda. Again, we'll welcome, and then we'll introduce ourselves, and then Deb, who is our president, will give some remarks, and then Michelle will give an update on the ISSIP priorities, especially on our platform and programs. And then we'll spend about 15 minutes. This is more of a brainstorming, what we're going to do for 2025. And then we have a call for action at the end. Okay. So first of all, let me welcome 19 new ISSIP ambassadors for 2025. So this is a great effort that Jem and a few others put together. And really, it's a diverse group of ambassadors across different industries, different gender, academic industries as well, and government as well, right? Government agencies as well. So very well represented, a diverse group of ambassadors. So welcome to ISSIP, and then of course I forgot to introduce myself. Yeah, my name is Christine Ouyang, and I'm a distinguished engineer at IBM, and I'm the ambassador lead for ISSIP for a few years already. And at IBM, I work on the AI application development. So I'm very passionate about the technology. I'm a technologist. I used to work with Jim. Jim was my boss before he retired from IBM. So very passionate about technology, innovation, and service as well. Let me hand the mic to Deb.
Thank you. And thank you very much for all of your leadership as part of the ambassador program this year. I think that's absolutely fabulous. All the work you've done and the sheer volume of the number of new ambassadors that you've been working with to bring into ISSIP this year. We very much appreciate what you've done. So I'm Deb Stokes, president of ISSIP, and I am also work with Dell Technologies as part of the Office of the CTO with a focus on working with our academic research partners in various universities and research labs all over the world. I think one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that we talked about today were some of the priorities that we've had this year and going forward around ISSIP. You know, what we call the scaffolding for growth. How are we going to be building up what we're going to be doing this year to make sure that we are in a position of leadership, I would say. And I would say the ambassadors are such a key part of everything that we do, that we really want to make sure that you all feel welcome, that we want to make sure you feel supported. We want you to make sure that if you have questions, you know who to go to get answers for on those questions. And one of the things that I've apparently been seeing way too many Henry Ford quotations and inspirations this week, but one of the things that he said, you know, coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress, and working together is success. So I'd love for you all to see this as your beginning point with ISSIP. You know, staying together, working with us, finding your niche, finding the things that you can contribute to as part of ISSIP is going to be progress, not only for you to help ISSIP reach its goal, but also you as a professional, that there will be goals and things that you will learn that will help you accomplish your professional goals. And then working together, that's where it all comes together as part of the success opportunities that we have. So there's a number of things there on the slide, and actually I think the slides have grown or my screen has shrunk, so I can't see everything else that I'm supposed to make sure that I copy. So can you shrink it back down a couple of notches there? It's
Okay.
I'm running out of some space there. There we go. So yeah, just to make sure we hit on those three pillars: the leadership, the engagement, the recruiting. You know, delighted to have you all here. Look forward to your leadership opportunities. You know, talking about if you need to have information on what's available, what's going on, we have our handbook, our guidebook. There's a number of other activities underway. I encourage everyone as an ISSIP member to read through the code of conduct and accept that, because we do have a standard of what we expect from our folks in the organization, and the code of conduct just reinforces this is how we want each other to be treated. And a number of the successful programs that, again, ambassadors are such a key part of, not only the ambassador program itself that Christine's been doing such a fine job with, but also the AI collab we have, the Get Grow campaign that we have, the Mighty Me program that we have. There's a number of opportunities for you all to engage, and I would welcome you if there are other opportunities that you all have heard about or you're thinking about, and you'd love a place to test them out, see how they work, do some innovation. ISSIP is a place to come. We've got a platform that we would love to have the opportunity to hear some new ideas and look at some different approaches. Let's move on to the next slide. So I can't tell you, but yes, we do have the VP election results. As you may or may not know, our VP is selected in the year as VP and then becomes the president the next year. So we do have those election results. Michelle is working on the public, information, the release about that. It's coming soon, so stay tuned. I love the fact that everyone who was a runner-up in the campaign, and thanks to some of you who are now on the call as ambassadors who were also running for VP, you're going to have a role as part of our strategy council. And the strategy council is very, very important because that sets the tone and the stage for what does ISSIP want to focus on going forward in the next year. What's the technology directions? I know we have some time in the call today to talk through some of those. What do you think are some of the priorities? But our strategy council really puts all of that information together and helps set the foundation for what do we want to talk about? What do we want to focus our seminars? What do we want to focus some of our efforts around going forward? And also want to highlight the call for nominations for Excellence in Service Innovation Awards. Those are due in by the end of December. I'd encourage you don't wait till December 30th to start writing that. Go ahead and put those in as soon as possible. The opportunity is there. Jim can provide some additional details and make sure that we are, making sure your companies, your opportunities, things that you see that should be recognized for service innovation definitely come up as one of the award winners. And again, just want to thank all of the folks who were in the race for VP. Congratulations to whoever won that. And
Uh-oh.
We lost Deb.
you can become even more engaged. And with that, I think I pass it back to you, Christine.
Thank you, Deb. It's a great community, and we are making big strides here. All right. Next is Michelle.
Hey, good morning. Yes, and thank you, Deb. I just put a couple things in the chat there too. I put a little too much in the chat there. Sorry, I meant to just put the handbook that Deb referenced. That's in there now, and Jim will talk more about that. And also there are too many links, but we'll talk about them later. All good stuff. The point I wanted to make, Deb's talking about awards, a call for nomination is open. One of the things that our AI Collab students had recommended last year that we do to the website was add a search button. So it's there, top right, like you want to apply for an award, go to that search button, search awards, and then it'll take you to you'll see all the options for information about the program, the app to apply, that kind of thing. That's what I meant to just put into the chat. So thanks, Christine, for asking for just a recap. Many of you have been with ISSIP. I think all on the call have been with ISSIP for a number of years. So the priorities right now this month, in keeping with the broad year's goals of growth, we are beautifully on target, really gaining participants in the community. Signups are fantastic. You saw the numbers on Deb's slide, approaching 2,000 now. It was about 1,400 2 years ago. Actually, it was under 1,000 2 years ago, and followers on LinkedIn, and that's how we measure. If you're not already following us on LinkedIn, please do. And the ISSIP News is, well regarded, coming out monthly. Appreciate your involvement to feed that content. Where our Carolco team is picking up what you share with us in Slack. That's how we know about what's going on. I'm looking in Slack, we're looking in LinkedIn, and pulling that into the monthly news. And the website's been fully rebuilt. So hopefully you've gone out, had a look at that. It's got some cool capabilities and freshly updated information constantly about so much going on. And now, importantly, optimized for search on service innovation, which can help all of you be the platform for amplifying your work in the space. Two big events this month, the Penn State ISSIP collaboration on the Industry Transformation Panel that Jim Spoor and Vital Prabhu of Penn State are leading is going to focus every other month roughly. They've focused on a different industry sector. This month, November 20, is supply chain management and logistics, my personal passion. So please sign up. Again, go to events, or you could search supply chain or on the website and get to it. And then also Ambassador Jan Simon, I didn't see him on this call, but he's an ISSIP ambassador. You've seen his 3-part article series on service innovation. He's taken that initiative to write the 3-part series and leveraging ISSIP platform to blast it out, publicize, and he's going to be chairing in partnership with EIT. Salvatore is on the call. The EIT Silicon Valley office. It's going to be in San Francisco. Details forthcoming, but he's lined up a fascinating panel of speakers. It's going to be in person in San Francisco and hybrid. So ask you to just watch for that. Look for it in social media, LinkedIn, and on the website. The current top priority, it is November. Year is ending. This is when we pull in our funds for next year to fund the platform, keeping everything humming, program management to keep all of the programs Deb mentioned, fresh, current information there. So 2 key pillars to that this year. We're making it, I think, clearer that we are a free community for individuals in the service innovation space. We're about being that platform for amplifying your work and supporting it and enabling peer review and publishing. Is free for individuals, funded by individuals and institutions that want to support that, support having a global community. So the message is out there now. So if you know of anyone who would like to contribute, have them connect with me, link to be given at the end. And important new revenue stream for ISSIP. Heather Yurko, who serves on our executive committee and strategy council, she is now with MasterCard after years with ISSIP from Cisco, now with MasterCard, told us about MasterCard participating in Benevity, which is a platform and a program that supports nonprofits that their employees prioritize. So if your organization participates in Benevity, they will match. They each has your own, with time frame and parameters for participation. But maybe Christine could share, but IBM, for example, Cisco, Dell are all participants, and our leaders can log hours spent with ISSIP. And then their companies are matching that with a, $10 and $20 donate, $5 and $10 and $20 donations, which adds up because, our executive committee meets every other week. So it's 50 times the hourly rate. And with 2,000 members, that can be significant. So we ask you to, this article you see on the top right here, and there's a link in chat to show you how to check if your organization is a Benevity participant, and please log your hours. The next slide, Christine, is just kind of for those who are brand new to ISSIP. This was from the progress call twice a year. We all meet, all of you are welcome, and we meet to review with the board progress on all of what we're doing. And this is what was shared in July. At that point, we'd had 9 events. Now I think we're up to 17 because the Democracy Series, chaired by Ambassador Kazuyoshi Shimada at Japan Science Technology and Christine Leitner on the European side, had all 3 since this tally, our awards. There were the 3 credentials. There have been hundreds more. And you have the opportunity, and we'd love for you to earn credentials by posting those blogs, posting articles, speaking, contributing to projects, your own work in collaboration with ISSIP. The 19 of you we welcome will be announced early 2025, and new ambassadors are still being evaluated for this list. More books published. I think we're up in the 15 zone now, and that's the free, if you want to publish, offering within ISSIP community, run by it's a partnership with Business Experts Press that Jim Spoor and Haluk Demirkin manage for us, and there are 2 collections there. Check out the program on the website. And we are up in the 15 books year-to-date zone. We sponsor 10 conferences where ISSIP, and I think 9 have happened already, where ISSIP leadership will judge best papers or provide speakers or work with the organizers on content and support with speakers and content. Blogs, that's doubled, I think. And we're working on, the monthly newsletter, number 11. Salvatore's on the call, and Ambassador with the IT, and is it Valencia now? Salvatore does the
Valencia, yeah.
A quarterly insights. He is the prior editor-in-chief for the ISSIP News and is doing the quarterly insights article. So 3 year-to-date, and there's another coming up in December. So that's just a kind of the broad overview of what we do and current priorities. Thank you all for your engagement in making it worthwhile.
Thank you, Michelle. And next, Jim.
Yeah, hi everyone. And I think we soon will go around and get everybody introduced and start brainstorming. But I just want to cover a couple things. I think most of you have already looked at the handbook and accepted the code of conduct. But if you haven't, it would be great if you could just go to the ISSIP.org website. And if you go to the very bottom of every page, there's our bylaw. On the right-hand side, there's our bylaws. And right under that, there's the link to the handbook. Michelle, I think, already put it into the chat if you scroll back. But if you look at that, it's a really simple document. It's just 11 pages long. The first page is shown there kind of on the slide. It's a picture of some from the website with a list of some of the people who created the handbook. Second page is the welcome letter by Deb Stokes that I hope everybody reads. And then the key part is it goes through all our programs. It goes through the annual calendar, just one page on everything. But it also has the one-page version of our code of conduct. And it's important that we all, agree to that. So please definitely take a look at the handbook and make sure you sign off on the code of conduct. The second thing I just want to give an update on is some people have heard about this thing called AI and generative AI, and we have an AI collab program. Deb Satterfield from Cal State University Long Beach, who's also very active in the Human Side of Service Engineering Conference, one of the co-chairs. She's our lead for this, but we've got now a good number of universities that have teams that are working on several projects. A few semesters ago, they worked on using generative AI to create service innovation examples, historic examples of service innovation, like the ATM invention is one of the pages they created, and they have ethical citations and pictures and videos, and they all generated by generative AI that they checked over for accuracy. Then they worked on building a digital twin of me. If you haven't seen my digital twin that they built of me, it gives my talks in English and French and answers questions about some of my papers, which is pretty cool. Actually, if you haven't seen it, maybe I'll try to put the link in. I was just on a call before this one with a professor who wrote a Harvard Business Review article about digital twins of people in business that's coming. So currently what they're working on, though, is AI for automation of our different service roles to help our volunteers in ISSIP, and building a guidebook for all the service roles. And one of the biggest challenges we face in ISSIP is onboarding volunteers. Lots of people want to help, but it can take hours and hours and hours and hours of time to make sure that they know what to do and how to do it. So we're really hoping we can get a big boost and help more of the great people in the community who are participants in the community who want to help, to actually be able to help and do useful tasks, and have the AI even accelerate that. So obviously it's a bumpy road, but we're making it along that road, and it's quite exciting. So that's all I had to say, Christine.
Thank you, Jim.
yeah.
I reversed order on
Intros.
So that we can have that discussion, so that it flows better. All right. So why don't we hold on one second. Let me get rid of this spotlighting thingy, and then maybe I can stop sharing for now, so then at least I can see your face. All right. Right. So why don't we introduce or reintroduce ourselves, or at least share what you've been doing, so what you've been doing in 2024 so far, right? And what you like to do, what you like to work on in 2025. So especially in collaboration with ISSIP or the organizations that you are ambassadoring for, right? All right, so let's start with David.
Let me unmute. Okay, I'm unmuted. David Ng in Toronto, work in the system science community. Earlier this year with Gary Metcalf, who's also on the call, we did a edited volume on Springer for Industry 4.0 to 5.0. Jim Spore's also got a chapter in there. And been attending and working on various system science events. So we actually just, with the Creative Systemic Research Platform Institute, we just had a meeting in Lugano We're going to be having these Banathy conversations that we're planning into next April and in the United States in Iowa, and maybe next September in Laos. So we'll keep people posted on that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because I saw Sean posted a conference right in Lisbon tomorrow, and unfortunately, not everyone can go, right? So I was hoping that folks can do a highlight. Maybe after the conference, right, as one of the block, and just to say, okay, this is what I've learned, this is what the trend is, what this is the direction, right, and then just keep the community informed, right, and also help us also prioritize, right, from an ISSIP standpoint, what we should be focusing, right. Right. Thanks, David. Next, I see Stephen.
I'm Stephen Kwan. I'm a retired professor from San Jose State. I've been doing a lot of work on writing AI standards with ISO, and I'm on the subcommittee 42. So I'm actually spending a lot of times being a project editor for a couple of the standards and technical reports. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's very interesting, Steve. I mean, with AI, to me, I haven't really seen a whole lot of the these standards, right? So maybe more in this area, and then can share your knowledge with us. Like the standards on the AI technology, right?
Yeah, I think that I can do a quick presentation sometime about what is being done, what has been published, and what is in the queue, and also how it's related to NIST, the U.S. NIST, and other regulations and things like that. So I'm very interested.
Right. For folks who are not familiar with NIST, is National Institute of Science and Technology. It's a government entity in the U.S. Okay. All right. Thanks, Steve. And then Salvador.
Yeah, hey, good afternoon. I am Salvatore Moccia. I am professor of strategic management. Right now I work as head of education and skills at Digital, that it's a pan-European organization, not for profit, based in Brussels, 24 offices in Europe, one in Silicon Valley, as Michelle was mentioning before. And we do innovation and education, and I have the privilege to be also the editor-in-chief here at ISSIP. I was editor-in-chief before, between 2018 probably and 2020, and now I'm back again, helping Michelle and Jim and Christine, all the groups.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate. Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Salvador. Kevin.
Greetings. Kevin Clark here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I am the Federation leader and president of Content Evolution. I am ambassador between ISSIP and the People-Centered Internet, PCI. So I am the global leader for the PCI Community Forum, where we have global discussions about things that are related to making the internet more people-centered, better for humanity. Participated in the AI and Democracy series. I was in the first forum. Michelle just put up a post about that report coming out before the end of the year. So I'm one of the contributing authors and editors to that. And so thank you for that. Participated in the Frontiers in Science, Frontiers in Service conference, delivered a keynote at that conference this summer, and that made quite a few, good connections. In fact, I'm editing a paper by Joachim Wirtz and some other folks about generative AI meets service robots, and I'm currently doing work to look at automation and robotics in the service of healthcare and aging populations with Chris Beaumont, who is in the Healthcare Innovation Program. He leads that at the University of Tokyo. I'm also the author of Collective Intelligence in the Age of AI that was just recently published with my co-author, Kyle Shannon. And we have our own collab in content evolution, building digital twins. So I think that there's a lot of room for tons of innovation there. Our digital twins have a collective. There are 30 of them that are able to write together, and we publish articles and we put those out in the world. And I encourage ISSIP to consider, as you start to model your twins, that you consider expertise clusters that can, speak to the world and project ISSIP in powerful ways, all right, and make its expertise known and available in both no time limitations and in every language, right, that are available in the language library. So with that said, I'm delighted to be with you, and I look forward to continue to contribute to the organization. And thanks, Jim, for inviting me to be part of it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kevin, for all the contributions and also the leadership. Okay, next, Tor.
Thank you so much. It's delightful to be here. I'm Tor Andreassen with the Norwegian School of Economics. I'm a professor of innovation. I spend most of my time thinking about innovation in downstream functions, how whatever the firms does to create value for customers, how do customers perceive it, and are they willing to come back and look at the financial implications of that. So I developed an approach that enables firms to capture customers' responses to a firm's innovation. Again, seen through the eyes of customers, been implemented now in 10 countries. So like a national way of doing it. I'm flying to Vietnam now in December to implement it there in the Vietnam economy. So it's going to be good. I'm also working on dynamic pricing, and the fairness of that using AI. So when you can buy a carton of milk and come to the cash register, you pay a different price. It's kind of interesting. So I'm looking at that, but also I'm looking at probably as a function of age, I guess. But I'm looking at innovation as a function in an aging and digital society. What are the innovation that we could do to make well-being much better than they are today for individuals and when approaching a higher age, realizing that people above 65 is the only segment growing in most of the developed economies in the world. So that's kind of interesting. So the young and hip and trendy ones, they are not the cash guys anymore. So that's what I'm doing. At ISSIP, I've been recruited by Jim, and I'm very thankful for that. I've been a very dormant, sleeping, latent resource. I have not been too active in the community, and I regret to admit that, but I'm absolutely keen on this thing there, because this is where we need to be. I just returned from a conference today. I'm talking to some of the government in Norway about how do you use AI and LLM and increasing efficiency and effectiveness in the government sector. In Norway, it's a very welfare state. It's a social democratic state with high trust. And how do you innovate in that huge sector and keeping the trust still there? So that's what I am. I'm fascinated by service. I've always been in the service field. I think I would die in the service field.
Thank you, Tor. Yeah, absolutely. I think it is AI is the very disruptive technology, and with service, everything is like, okay, with the technology, we try to at least digitize the service, right? In many ways, in different industries, different sectors, including government. So this is really a huge topic that I think at least I like to see as one of the focus and priority for ISSIP to drive. Yeah. All right.
If I may add there, Christian, it's just I think if you go through the literature, not much work has been done in understanding the needs of the aging population. We stop thinking about individuals when they're 49, and then they're over the hill and gone. But if that is the only segment increasing in the world, it's worth spending more time understanding. And what are the unique needs they need for service innovation and helped by technology?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. All All right, let's move on to Sean, because you are in a conference. Maybe you can shed some light on that topic, specific topic. We can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself, Sean.
That's one of my favorite things with Teams. I put myself onto mute because they're making the garden up outside the hotel. I've got 3 papers. One's looking at blockchain within services. I still don't believe it really works in most use cases. We have another paper looking at how to use new technology and how it's going to affect field service technicians' jobs, which I think is really interesting. And I take the last point. We have a problem with field service technicians because they keep getting older every year, and we're not replacing them at the speed that we need to, which means that we need to augment them somehow and pull some of their knowledge away from them. So that's an interesting paper. We've done a retrospect. What was it like before COVID? What's it like today? And what could it be like in another 5 years? And with the speed the tech's moving at, I think 5 years is probably as far as I can guess at. So I'm looking forward to that. I've also got a paper with the Hospitality University in Switzerland at Lausanne, looking at service innovation in hospitality and how dumb it can be much of the time. My personal experience was flying into the airport and picking up a hire car. It took me longer to use that online system with a person helping me than it would have been just to have handed everything over. And then they send me a stupid little text message of, oh, if your vehicle is damaged, you have 30 minutes to tell us. And of course, I didn't see it until I got here, but I already have a video of it. So what I'm saying is I have a frustration of bad services in general and an intolerance of worse services, which is why I like living in Switzerland, because our government services are pretty good. And we face some of the similar issues that Norway has because we have a very high general level of income. And so actually paying somebody to do something where a machine is better is a pretty stupid thing to do. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean, for your...
And I will post you a blog as well. I'll send you a blog once it's done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for
conference.
sharing. I'm sure everyone, we all have a story of a bad service. I was in the airport, checked in already, got my boarding pass, wanted to go through the security, right? But I have to get in the airport, right? And now there's no human. There are human there, but then I have to scan my boarding pass in order to get in. But the stupid machine doesn't recognize it, right? I just got it a minute ago, right? And then the human standing there said, I cannot do anything. You have to use the machine. So I had to go back all the way, to the counter, get another boarding pass, and then scan it. And luckily, the second time it worked. So I totally understand your frustration. I'm like, yeah, humans should be at least be able to overwrite the machine, okay, when the machine is malfunctioning.
Yeah.
When the machine does the job, it's beautiful,
something.
Right? It's all about efficiency, automation and everything. But when it doesn't work, it can really do a lot of harm.
That's the service systems that we live in, and I think we need to do something about them, which is good to have people interested in systems and how they fit and work, because too often it's just one step at a time, and it's just a disaster.
Yeah, and I think in
Just a
the
faster
world
one.
of in the world of AI, I think women still, not women, human still needs to be in the loop. It's not like, okay, we just hand this whole thing to the machine and then I think it doesn't work. I think Michigan, the University of Michigan, they're having a conference this year, this month actually, about the Michigan Institute of Data and Science for Society, right? The theme is about keeping the human in the loop, which I think is the necessity. All right. Next, thank you so much, Sean. And next, Karen. Karen Sidari. Sorry if
I
I
was
butchered your
struggling
name.
to get that mic button on.
Yeah. I wasn't sure
Hi,
whether
everyone.
I said your name correctly.
My name is Karim Sidawi. I'm an assistant professor of marketing at Radboud University in the Netherlands. What I do is mainly service research. I'm really interested in services that involve technologies, specifically AI. I'm a computer scientist originally, and I've worked in industry and programming for around eight years. So with that in mind, I always enjoy when there's a bit of practicality that undermine the research that we do and impact. And I'm here as a Surf Collab officer. So Surf Collab is a nonprofit that focuses on serving humanity via research. And what we are doing and what we're interested to do is find ways where we sort of, with technology, build better collaborations between people and perhaps between people and machines in that sense. And what we're trying to do, I mean, just a couple of examples. We work on, let's say, conversational agents that foster reflection and strength-based approaches to help, let's say, vulnerable customers or populations, become aware of their strengths and become empowered. An example of that is we're working on a project at the minute where we try to find out how conversational agents can become a core foundation to non-profits serving refugees and help them empower themselves via knowledge, via reflection on skills, so that they can become more involved in society and give them better opportunities for themselves. And we have a lot of other projects as well that we're looking at, but the essence of it is indeed trying to find ways where technology ends up serving humanity and not the other way around. And I'm really happy to be part of this community and to contribute in any way possible.
Yeah, thank you, Karim. I mean, the thing that you mentioned, the actual use case, right, to help the refugees, and just like what Tor mentioned about using the technology to help the seniors, I think, yes, that this is really, when we talk about AI, the democracy, right, it's not just a few of those powerful people, in their hands, right, or companies, rather, but also serving the whole entire society. I think that's really another very important.
And may I add that we're using those resources. That those resources take energy, and that impacts our environment and our climate. So we also need to be aware of using it in a proper way.
Yep. All right. Thanks so much, Karen. And then Matt Seaman.
Great, thank you. Matt Seaman with the Consortium for Service Innovation. It's good to see some of you. We're seeing, obviously, so we're a not-for-profit similar to ISSIP, with much more of a focus, I'd say, on the corporate world, with support services, IT service management, professional services organizations. We actually held a meeting last week in Barcelona where we had 12 of our member companies talking about the realities of implementing AI. And I think the reality is pretty far from the hype in terms of the expense, the cost, the time, the energy to get it working and being impactful. But as more and more tools are just embedding it, there's also the big discussion on build versus buy. What am I going to build versus what am I going to wait a year for a solution to be bought in? So a lot of great discussion going on around AI and as well as getting away from just AI equaling generative AI, but the fact that there's all kinds of applications out there, right, to use AI. So pretty exciting stuff going on in that entire field.
Yeah, absolutely. Reality check, right?
The reality check.
Right. All right. Let's see. Michelle Leonard. You will need to unmute. Go, if the first time you're using Teams, then go up to the top, and then you should see the mic.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am sorry. I am Michel Leonard, professor of the University of Geneva. I am retired now, and I am always very involved in service science dissemination and also in research. I co-created the YES conference, international on its conference on exploring service science in Europe. And the last one was in Brno with the theme of service science to promote intelligence augmentation, human intelligence. And there was also a workshop about startups in service science for the development of entities or society. The next one will be probably in Naples with a topic towards socially conscious service system design. It was an important theme because it's not our main issue is to create a conference where researchers from IT and researchers from human science, generally speaking, from marketing, from management, but also from engineering, can develop the knowledge on service science to teach students, high-level students, to create a transdisciplinary, trans-organizational, transnational services. And the question is to find a common language, a common way of reasoning, because we can speak the same language, but if we come from various disciplines, it's difficult because the language of another disciplines is like a foreign language. And when we want to create a transdisciplinary service, we need to have a common understanding of the other objectives of the partners, and to create also the domain of responsibility. We can speak a lot about responsibility, okay? I think that many people around service try to be responsible, but the question is how to be responsible with service, for instance, with service coming from artificial intelligence and other. And we try to do that to enable researchers to present their work in this area, even if this research are at the first time a little bit naive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Michelle, I mean, that's, responsible AI, responsible technology, responsible service is such an important topic. It'd be great if you can write a blog for us and, we publish, right, Michelle?
What do you want that I write?
Absolutely.
Yeah, to write a blog, write an article, or or maybe.
Yes, I can do that, but for me, service is not a buzzword. Service science is not at all a buzzword.
Yeah.
And maybe service science will replace computer science. That is in my mind.
Interesting.
And maybe service science will replace management science. That is in my mind. You know, I was director of a management department at the University of Geneva. I create a lot of curriculum in information system engineering, in computer science engineering, and so on. And I think that if service science is very consistent, and we must be very careful with that, because we don't have so much cognitive space where we can apply the freedom coming from IT and the freedom coming from human science. And service dominant logic, which was created in marketing thanks to Lush and Vargo, in my opinion, we must have the same word for all the sciences around. Science to be service dominant.
Yeah, Michelle, I'm sorry to interrupt you, because
Yes.
I think we still have a few.
I
folks.
agree.
Yeah. To introduce themselves, right? Sukanya.
Yes. So I'm based in India, and Jim has been my mentor. I worked with IBM for 10 long years, so I was also a member of the Academy of Technology. And my passion is technology and people. So my earlier career, I did research in physics, and then I found my calling that it is more for people. And then I moved to HR and have been working in corporates. What I have specialized in neuroscience and neuroplasticity, how human mind really works, because all data in our minds is only in the form of memories. There's no other way the mind can capture the data. It's all memories. And if the content of the memory is positive, it will drive the conscious behavior positively. If not, it will drive the other ways. And everybody will have combination of this. So the modality which I operate from to help people build better professional and personal well-being is to help them clean up the negative data. And whenever there is time, I'd love to show the demo, because I give this service world across. And my interest is mainly what makes people really give service, because it is so innate to humans to be of service to anyone, everyone. That's what humans are, according to me. So what is that element in people? And that really excites me. And I'm so looking forward to learn from all of you and contribute to the research or building this, this as a practice with ISSIP.
Thank you, Sukana. We definitely take up on your offer, right? Michelle, maybe we can organize one of the panel. I mean, we can turn it into just a presentation, right? And then Sukana can share her work in detail.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all about like a giving, like, because to me, it really the gift of giving it's the beauty of it, right? Exactly. When you give, you actually are receiving.
Exactly.
Many things. Many times you don't even realize that you're actually receiving. You are on the receiving side as well. So
all
so
the
that's
time,
the beauty of it.
And that is what is being human to be of service.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right.
More
Thanks so
about
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next, Frank. We can see you. Now your camera worked.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thanks for having me here. And I'm delighted to be part of your group here today. My name is Frank Melis. I'm living in the Netherlands. We are running a platform for personal and economic development. We are rolling that out now here in Europe, but also in Africa. And the title we are using is Growing People and Economies at Scale and Speed. When we take a look at the problems, for example, in Central and Eastern Europe with high unemployment rate, the question is, how can we create new jobs by explicitly looking for potential entrepreneurs in the user base? We're doing that at, again, large scale and high speed. with projects sized somewhere between 150,000 and 300,000 users within one region. Yes. We're working together with the European Economic and Social Committee, and we are very active together with the OECD on something that we have developed that is called the Economic Development Funnel. And the Economic Development Funnel is a combination of AI with big data analysis to help policymakers to create a bigger socio-economic impact. So not only saying what they want to achieve, but how they can achieve what they are saying. Yes.
Yeah. Great.
And back to ISSIP. Well, through Jim, I'm already supported enormously with introductions, for example, to Vital Prabhu. So we are now working together on this approach that we have developed together with Vital. And what I would love to do is to share with you our white paper on using artificial intelligence for economic development. And what I really would like to do together with ISSIP is to add one element on the website of ISSIP, and that is the importance of economic development. Please bundle that into service innovation. We really need that attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, Frank. I think sorry I interrupted you. But we will definitely work with you to help you promote your white paper. And then Xavier, and then we also have another gentleman joined on interconnections.
Yeah. That sorry, it's Teams is not being happy with me today. So
right.
When you're ready, Christine.
Yeah, maybe Xavier, can you just spend like 30 seconds to introduce yourself?
30 seconds. My name is Javier Busquets. Associate professor at ISSIP Business School in Barcelona, also promoting an institute for ethics, technology, and sustainability, with combining academia with industry. And we would like to focus on AI governance. I think large-scale systems require a lot of thinking about how AI is making choices at large scale. So like autonomous driving, autonomous systems, social media making choices. And so we plan to develop the first study about this topic, plus an event in collaboration with you, with ISSIP here in Spain. That's about it.
Yeah.
And I have to leave to another meeting. So I would like very much to have to organize this with you, and let's keep in touch. So I need to move to another meeting.
Yeah, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you, Livia. And then lastly, again, I don't see your name, so.
Yeah. So interconnections, Christine, is Gary Metcalf. Sorry.
Oh, Gary. Yeah. So you were here. I was
well,
looking for you.
I was here and I had to get to another browser before Teams would let me on. So I apologize for the interruptions. I know Jim Spohr, and I'll tag on just a little bit to what David Ng had already said. The project that I'm most focused on at the moment, I'm really just started to get involved, but it's with a guy in the UK who seems to be working on a fairly high-level approach to built systems. So the or the built environment, as he's describing it, it's still a work in progress. But the connections are that it's really taking me back. He has mentioned a couple of things about service and about some of the work in digital twins. So Jim, it really takes me back to the smart cities work. So I'm trying to introduce bridges where this could be possible, and if something develops, we'll see if we can make the connections more explicit.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. Thank you all for joining. I apologize, the meeting will run on over time, but I think this is a great gathering. we learn from each other. And then I will share the recording. I will upload the recording to YouTube and we'll share the link. Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Christine. This is a fabulous job. Thank you so much for setting this up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Christine,
Thanks,
can
Deb.
you save the chat? Can you save the chat?
Yeah. It will be saved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
meeting.
Bye.
Good seeing you all.
Thank you.
Bye now.